So I pulled the diff out of the 240. I'm gonna weld it. As you can see, it's open as fuck. When I bought it, I thought it was limited slip, but we learned at drifting that it is very much not limited slip. Whew. Brennan just threw a pan on the floor while I was talking!
I thought it was gonna be quieter.
But yeah, so we're gonna weld that shit. Okay, this is high risk. I'm saying right there. Do you think we should put down preemptive floor dry for this? Oh, not even close!
Oh my god.
Don't worry, it's so thick that I only spilled about one little driplet.
Oh, that's sludgy.
Sludgy, and it's also probably minus 20 degrees. Oh.
Oh my god. Alright, Jeff, since I have to take control of what's going on, what are we doing? So there's the metal.
Okay, so we put a metal plate in the diff. Then we weld the metal plate in the diff. And then the spider gears can't turn. Essentially turning the entire center cartridge of the differential into one solid object.
So this is like common knowledge for everyone but me.
Yes.
Well, it's common knowledge
Everyone
for people
who knows
look it
how
up
a
and care.
differential works.
So,
Hello.
you want to like explain what's happening?
So we just welded it. Get a close up on this shit.
No,
Brennan just welded it.
please don't get
Well, that's pretty. I'm not good at weld. Why did you just do that?
Why did you zoom in with the wide angle? It's against the
This is wide
rules.
angle?
Every time you pick up that camera, it's the wide angle.
I thought Tyler took off the wide angle.
We took it off, but then we put it back on immediately.
Okay, yeah, those look pretty bad. I'm not even good at welding. But it is welded, which is more than it was
It's
before.
solid. It's gonna hold.
All right, Jeff, what are you doing?
Put the drain plug back in so that I can fill the differential back up with fluid.
Eventually. Oh,
Well, no, I'll fill it up right now.
look at that, a 240
That way
diff
it can lubricate while it sits around overnight.
that has been welded like every other 240 diff.
Yeah, it's. Frankly, it was a unicorn when it wasn't welded.
Yeah.
And
Now we just made it just like the rest. Brett?
I'm expressing my individuality by making my car the same as everyone else. So it's minus 22 out here. It's really fucking cold. And I have to put a diff back in my car. I got to get it done today, so I don't really have any other choice but to work out in the cold. I think I learned a couple lessons from the removal process that'll speed up the installation process. For instance, this time I didn't put the car on ramps, because last time I did. And then when it came time to get the bolts on top of the drive shaft and axles, I couldn't get to them and I couldn't turn the wheels, so then we had to jack the car up anyways. So hopefully I can get this done pretty quick here. I also picked up a set of S14 seats that I'm going to use to replace these ones. Yeah, this racing seat isn't very good. It's really hard and not that comfortable. It's pretty sure it's a cheap seat. I've never heard of this brand before. And then this seat's just like a stock seat from something, not this car. But it's the leather's all cracked and gross, so good set of S14 cloth seats with no tears. So yeah, install those afterwards. So I got the differential welded and the S14 seats installed. The S14 seats I'm really happy with. They're in really good shape. They still have good lumbar support. And I think they match my stock interior well. And they only cost me $100 for the set. So I would say that is a success. The differential I also got welded. It works good. It hasn't blown up on me yet, so that's a plus. I don't notice too much wheel hop or anything. The roads are pretty snowy still, so you know, the wheel's probably just sliding where it might be hopping on a dry road, but either way, it's working good. So what I'm doing today is I got a power steering line in here, the one with duct tape on it. I'm going to replace that because, spoiler alert, you're not supposed to have duct tape on your power steering lines. And shocker, the duct tape didn't do anything. It just leaks out of the side of the duct tape. Not that I thought the duct tape would do anything. I just want to go on record as saying I'm not an idiot. I didn't think it would do anything. and it didn't. And then also I'm gonna throw some new fluid in the differential. Yeah, I welded the differential, I put some fluid in it, and then that fluid pretty much picks up all the crap, and so you drain that fluid in, put some fresh stuff in, and hopefully my differential won't blow up on me. So that's the plan for today. So I am hardcore into fixing rust on the 240 right now. I pulled off the rear bumper lip and found that this entire corner here, where the quarter panel meets the floor, I guess, was completely rusted out. So I am just kind of fabricating up a whole new thing. You can see I've cut out the rust, and I point the camera up in here, you can see like into the trunk pretty much. I don't know if you can, but yeah, so I'm replacing all this with new metal. Usually it goes down to about there, but I didn't want to build it down that far. The bumper lip goes to here, so I'm building it to about here, and then the whole thing will just get covered up by the bumper lip, so I'm not too concerned about how this is gonna look. My main concern is just cutting out as much rust as possible so it doesn't happen again. So I'm doing that on this side. The other side needs it a little bit as well, not as bad. You can see just the very tip of the corner is rusted out there. So that'll need a bit of fabrication too. This rocker panel is also done. And this, you can see this is fresh primer here. There's a botched Bondo job on here before, so I scraped all of it out, put fresh Bondo on it, and now I'm actually going to cut that Bondo out again. My original plan was to fix all this rust and get this car looking as back to stock as possible. I recognize now that that's probably not going to happen just based on the amount of rust I have to fix. So my new plan is to cut out and seal all this rust so it at least doesn't grow back. And then instead of spending, you know, dozens of hours and, you know, 15 cans of Bondo trying to fix stuff like this back to factory, I'm just going to cover it with fiberglass body parts. So the this rocker panel will get cut, sealed, and covered with a skirt. All this Bondo here is going to get cut out and covered with over fenders. Same on the other side, but there's no Bondo on the other side. But obviously I'm not going to rock one over fender. And then these things already get covered by the rear bumper lip. So yeah, it's not going to look stock, but I mean, you kind of have to pick your battles with something that was in the state it was in when I bought it. I mean, it was never really going to be clean again, but I can at least get it looking, you know, like not the world's biggest shitbox again, because right now this thing is absolutely, for sure, the shittiest running 240 in my town. I get weird looks everywhere I go in this thing. Everybody thinks I'm fucking Joe Dirt or something, so I got this side all done and sealed up with Pour 15. Yeah, pretty much the fender lip mounts there, so anything below that I don't really care how it looks. I will have to recoat the Pour 15 because I drove home with it wet and I got dirt all over it, so that will have to be done. But other than that, it's all sealed up, it's fully enclosed. I put Pour 15 inside and outside, so hopefully that won't rust out again. I don't think it will. So now I need to do the other side, which is not as bad, but you can see it's still very bad, just not as bad. I don't think that'll take me as long as the first side. The first side I had to cut out considerably more. And then also today, hopefully, I can do this right here. Again, this is going to get a side skirt, so it doesn't need to be, I don't need to make it look OEM again. I just need to cut out the rust and seal it up so that more water can't get into the rocker there. So yeah, hopefully I can get all that done today. So I just cut in here and I found some treasure. What do we got here? This is the handle for the jack, I believe, mixed with some what appears to be ancient cigarette packaging. And this is a wrench that looks like it was found on the Titanic. I don't know what size that is, but I think I'll give that to Brendan as a present. Got the hook from a bungee cord here, I think. And yeah, always finding value in these old cars. This is why shit rusts out. People don't take good care of their shit, and they leave hundreds, literally hundreds of cigarettes in the trunk that fall into here, and then all this friggin' crap sits down here collecting moisture and then just destroys it from the inside. I found cigarette packages in here from 1998. Take care of your shit so 20 years later when I buy it, I don't have to do this. Brennan, I have a present for you. I have a present for you.
Thank you.
So I finished sealing up this rear part of the car here. You can see I got the rear lip mounted here, so you can't really tell I ever actually fixed it at all, which is good. Because the rust used to be below the rear lip, and then I cut out the rust and sealed it, and now the rear lip covers up the empty space where there's no longer any body. But I enclosed the whole thing, covered it all inside and outside in Pour 15, so hopefully that should hold out for a very long time before rusting out again. What I'm doing right now is throwing in some coilovers. You can see right there. I already did all the coilovers, so there's not much to see here. It didn't occur to me to turn on the camera until just now. But these are just some used Tanabe Suspect Pro 2.0s I picked up on Facebook for pretty cheap. Pretty much just to bridge the gap between monster truck ride height and when I can actually put a bit of money into the suspension. So yeah, those are in. Pretty much I just have to put the wheels back on and drop the car. So this is what it looks like after lowering. I think it's safe to say I may have gone a bit too low, but my winter wheels are also giant pizza cutters, so worst case scenario, if I get some summer wheels and I'm rubbing like shit, I can just raise them up. Height adjustable coilovers, it's no big deal. I'm sure this is really bad wind noise. I'm gonna stand in here and talk. So I think I got enough. I think this will be a pretty long video already, so I'll probably cut it off here. I was hoping to get the manual swap done this part. You can see I got the parts laying around here. But really late winter this year. This is like the first nice weekend, honestly, of the spring, and it's mid-April, so I'll probably do that next episode. I got all the parts should be here sometime this week. I'm still waiting on my clutch and my clutch lines, but other than that, yeah, I'll cut this one off here. So honestly, I don't even remember what I did this episode, but my car barely looks better, so I made no progress. Just kidding, I did make progress.